Here's what really went down when Caitlin Clark stepped back into Team USA camp after months of grinding through injury rehab. Everything shifted, and Angel Reese walked away. Not sidelined, not quietly unhappy, but gone, after Clark took over every drill they shared. Sue Bird and Coach Kara Lawson looked on as Clark ran the floor with Aaliyah Boston, drilled deep-range shots with confidence, and dictated the tempo like she'd never been absent. The entire system snapped into place around her vision and command, and Reese, unable to find a steady groove in an offense now driven by Clark's control, faded from the picture. The contrast was impossible to ignore, the momentum undeniable, and the message loud without a single word being said. Should Reese still be part of Team USA, or did this moment answer that question? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to show your support for Caitlin.
Who should not make this Team USA team? Caitlin Clark destroys in day 2 of Team USA camp, looking like the best player in the world as usual.
Here's what no one saw coming when Clark stepped back onto the floor after months away from real competition. Doubt filled the building. She hadn't played meaningful basketball since mid-July, when a groin issue started a brutal chain reaction, followed by a quad setback, then an ankle bruise that wiped out most of her sophomore season and limited her to just 13 appearances after a historic rookie year where she rewrote the record book with 62 milestones shattered. Questions hovered over every corner of the gym as she took her first shots and initiated her first sets. Had the edge faded? Had the explosiveness dulled? Had the long recovery finally caught up to her? The air was tight with anticipation as teammates and coaches watched closely, waiting for answers. Sue Bird stood on the sideline, arms folded, tracking every cut and release, while Coach Kara Lawson locked in during warm-ups, searching for even the slightest hint that time and injuries had
Being hurt is an incredibly isolating thing, and you don't really understand it until you go through it. And then I think the challenge for myself was just, it was one injury, and then it was like a little better, and then it kind of continued to compound and get worse, and other things pop up, and then I had the ankle injury. So it feels nice to finally be back to 100%. And
the pace she brought to
Clark erased every doubt the moment she let the first shot fly, drilling deep logo range jumpers as if the layoff never happened. Her trademark step back was sharp, controlled, and fearless from the opening drill, with the ball leaving her hands in that same effortless rhythm that defined her historic rookie run. She calmly pulled up from nearly 30 feet and buried 3 straight shots, unfazed, while practices around her slowed to a standstill. Teammates paused mid-drill, drawn in by the quiet snap of the net barely reacting as each shot dropped clean. Her vision was just as lethal, slicing defenses apart with passes most guards wouldn't even attempt, reading lanes seconds before they fully formed. She fired precision feeds through traffic, threading pressure and bodies without hesitation, and capped it off in a transition drill with a perfectly timed no-look delivery that hit her teammate in stride for an easy finish. On the sideline, coaches locked eyes, fully aware they weren't just seeing a comeback. They were witnessing
One of the things that stands out to me in looking at this, it's not just that she's back on the basketball court and it's a relief, but her speed seems to be back. We saw it on that step back 3 on the first day of practice, but there was a play in the day 2, and this play for a number of reasons is very exciting to watch. But number one, let's start with the speed. You see Caitlin Clark gets the dribble handoff from Aaliyah Boston. It's the way she turns the corner and how quickly she gets down that stands out to me here. Look, coming downhill, great pass, right, to Jackie Young down there. So dribble handoff, and just moving quick with intent, gets it to Jackie Young, who misses the layup, but
Any lingering uncertainty vanished the instant Clark launched her first shot, burying deep logo range jumpers like time had never touched her game. Her signature step back came alive immediately, tight, balanced, and fearless, flowing with the same effortless control that fueled her historic rookie breakout. She rose up from nearly 30 feet and knocked down 3 straight shots without a hint of strain, and the entire gym seemed to slow as eyes locked onto her. Teammates stopped what they were doing, drawn in by the soft, unmistakable snap of the net, barely flinching as each attempt dropped clean. Her awareness was just as devastating, carving defenses apart with passes few players would even imagine, anticipating openings before they fully existed. She zipped flawless deliveries through crowded lanes, unfazed by pressure, and punctuated the sequence with a perfectly timed no-look feed in transition that led directly to an easy finish. Along the sideline, coaches exchanged knowing looks, fully aware they weren't witnessing a return. They were watching control, confidence, and command take.
And just seeing her back out on the floor at all is a big deal. And probably people holding their breath a little bit too, but just all of her movements look good. That's the most important thing. But that speed burst, that ability to get up the court quickly has stood out, because I do think that was something she never quite got all the way there in year 2, just because of the myriad of injuries, because she started in the preseason with the quad injury, and that's another differentiator for her, is how quickly she can move with the basketball.
Coach Cara Lawson was just as struck by what unfolded, making it clear that Clark looked strong on both ends of the floor and showed no signs of rust. Lawson described her as an elite competitor who stayed locked in, sharp, and fully engaged throughout the entire session, never drifting for a second. That praise mattered because neither Lawson nor Sue Bird is known for easy compliments, which made their reactions even more telling. It didn't take long to realize Clark wasn't simply returning to form. She was elevating past it. Her reads were quicker, her decisions cleaner, and her command unmistakable. When she called out sets, there was a new firmness in her voice, a presence that teammates instantly followed. Every possession under her control moved with purpose, precision, and rhythm, signaling that the setbacks hadn't weakened her. They had sharpened her into something.
Angel Reese can be an asset and a value, rebounding, being tenacious on this team, and being just a role player, which is what she should be. She's not a star go-to player. Rebound, and that's it. That's all. Rebound and play defense. That's all you got to do. That should be your role, but your team in the WNBA sucks so bad that you're trying to do more, and that's just not you.
Clark's instant takeover made it obvious she was ready to steer Team USA into a new chapter, proving that months of rehab didn't dull her edge. They sharpened it. She returned more focused, more intelligent, and driven to show that her rookie explosion was no accident, shifting the outlook for the 2026 World Cup and the 2028 Olympics the moment she stepped back on the floor healthy and in control. But her dominance didn't exist in a vacuum, and that's where the camp dynamic began to fracture. As Clark continued to dictate pace, spacing, and execution, Angel Reese's influence steadily faded, exposing a reaction that caught many by surprise. Drills increasingly revolved around Clark's tempo and vision, while Reese's role quietly shrank, her minutes thinning as the system evolved without her at the center. The offense moved faster, leaned harder into ball movement and perimeter shooting, and the post touches Reese once expected never came. Instead of leading, she found herself watching, and the contrast between who was rising and who was slipping became impossible.
The GOAT is back. Look at the rain. Man, she's back, bruh. She's back.
Pick up!
Yeah, man, CC back.
Rather than adjusting or elevating her approach, Reese began showing clear frustration as practices went on, her reactions becoming harder to miss during meetings and drills. She visibly disengaged when coaches introduced sets built around Clark as the primary engine, and during breaks, she vented to teammates about her shrinking role inside. When the offense no longer ran through her, her intensity dipped, and that shift in energy didn't go unnoticed. The tempo exposed the gap. Clark drove practices at full speed, while Reese struggled to keep pace in a system built on quick decisions and constant motion. Her interior game looked out of sync as the team leaned into faster transitions and perimeter flow, and during up-tempo drills the contrast was stark, with Clark's unit striking instantly, while Reese's relied on slower half-court execution. As Clark's command grew, Reese's presence faded. Her body language changed. Her voice disappeared in huddles. And when Clark began directing defensive coverages, teammates listened. The leadership Reese once assumed would be hers quietly shifted, and by the end of practice, it was clear who the team was rallying behind and whose influence.
And then this is gonna surprise some people, but I think she has versatility. She can score, she can play defense, she has size. I have De'Erica Hamby starting at the 4. I got De'Erica Hamby starting at the 4, and I got Indiana Fever's own Caitlin Clark's running mate, Aaliyah Boston, starting at the 5. That's my starting 5. That's my starting 5. Caitlin Clark, Jackie Young, Kalia Copper, De'Erica Hamby, and Aaliyah Boston. That's who I have in the starting lineup.
The tension finally boiled over during live scrimmages, where the gap between the two sides became impossible to hide. Clark's unit executed crisp sets with purpose and flow, while Reese's group struggled to generate rhythm, possession after possession highlighting the contrast between Clark's advanced court command and Reese's more limited offensive options. Clark consistently manufactured easy looks for teammates, keeping the offense moving, while Reese called for interior touches that slowed everything down. Coaches watched closely as Clark's leadership elevated everyone around her, and the moment of separation arrived fast. Clark's team surged ahead by 20 points in just 15 minutes. She knocked down 4 3-point shots in the opening 5 minutes, while Reese managed only a pair of field goals. Clark's vision produced open opportunities across the floor. Reese's post attempts led to crowded looks and stalled possessions. The score grew so lopsided that coaches ended the scrimmage early. What followed raised eyebrows, as Reese openly voiced complaints about minutes, pace, and system fit, arguing that the offense didn't highlight her strengths and questioning why Clark was given control. As her frustration spilled out in front of the group, the staff exchanged uneasy glances, recognizing that the issue was no longer performance. It was professional.
That speed is back. That burst is back. And therefore, Caitlin Clark, I would call her number 22, but in this case, number 17 is back. Just the way she gets up the floor, control of the ball, control of the step back, pure, all that. She said she had to get her conditioning back. Sue Bird said that was one thing it would take her a little bit of time to work towards.
Her frustration soon moved past strategy and into personal resentment, centered on feeling overlooked despite her college resume and professional accolades. She expected a guaranteed place based on reputation alone, and the reality that every roster spot had to be earned on the floor clearly didn't sit well. The idea that past achievements offered no protection, and that camp performance would decide everything, became the breaking point. Once it was clear that evaluations were based on execution, effort, and impact rather than name recognition, she chose to leave before the final assessments even began. Coaches had made their stance unmistakable. No one was promised anything, and every player had to prove value under pressure. Reese struggled with that standard, while the program doubled down on its commitment to competitors who respond to challenges by rising, not retreating. Her departure underscored exactly what Team USA was prioritizing: composure, adaptability, and resilience. While Clark's calm focus amid the tension showed why she was ready to carry the responsibility of leadership and guide the team toward championships.
This is what makes Caitlin Clark so special, all right? And this is what put pressure on defenses when she's out there, even if her shot isn't falling. All right, watch this. She gets the rebound. She's pushing the floor. Look at this tempo. Look at this tempo, fam. Pushing the floor. Absolutely rushing the defense. And then this is what happens when you do things like this. Look, watch this. Look, now you got a wide open AB over here in the corner. I know it might be hard to see, but a wide open AB. All because she grabbed that rebound and pushed the tempo.
What unfolded between Clark and Aaliyah Boston revealed a glaring insight into how Angel Reese fit, or didn't fit, into modern basketball. The two had built undeniable chemistry during their fever days, but the question was whether it could scale to Team USA's faster, more precise system. The answer came instantly in the first scrimmage. Clark's passes consistently delivered Boston into perfect scoring positions, whether cutting to the basket or rolling to the rim, even threading through multiple defenders with surgical accuracy. Their timing was seamless, their communication nearly telepathic, and every possession they ran together moved with effortless flow, as if the plays had been drilled 1,000 times. The connection was instantaneous, undeniable, and a stark contrast to the struggles elsewhere on the court.
Caitlin knows when to do this, when not to do this. That's what makes her special. Now, there are other guards that can recognize when to push the floor and when not to, but I'm just pointing out what's special about Caitlin, along with those three balls that she can knock down. When her shot isn't falling, this is what makes her a weapon. Although her shot isn't falling, people still respect her to the level where they're like, hey, she can get hot, man. We're not going to just allow her to be open just because she missed 1, 2, 3 shots. We're not going to allow that, man. Stay on her. That gravity that she holds, man, it opens up the defense like this.
Their fast break chemistry was unstoppable from the moment scrimmages began. Clark would secure a defensive rebound and instantly locate Boston sprinting down the court, delivering passes with perfect timing. No hesitation, no adjustment needed. Boston would catch in stride and finish before defenders could react, turning stops into points in under 5 seconds. Coaches tracked their efficiency, and the stats were jaw-dropping. Boston's ability to stretch the 4 open lanes Clark had never seen with the Fever, as defenders had to respect her 3-point range. That space allowed Clark to attack with confidence, knowing Boston was either ready for a catch-and-shoot or an offensive rebound. The spacing was flawless. Clark's vision amplified Boston's impact, and her screens created open looks for Clark. Meanwhile, Clark's precise passing put Boston in positions to score from spots she rarely attempted before, boosting her confidence every possession. On the floor together, Boston played bigger, smarter, and stronger, proving that Clark's presence elevated her game to all-star levels.
I guess you can't rule anything completely out. Can't rule anything completely out like that team up right there. But I expect to see them really playing well off of each other in Team USA and in a Team USA uniform over the next several years, and the next couple of versions of that team. Just because Jackie Young knows how to do almost everything out on the court, and she would just thrive, I think, and she will thrive playing alongside Caitlin Clark.
Every possession between Clark and Boston highlighted a basketball IQ that left the rest of the team scrambling to catch up. They anticipated defenses instantly, adjusting on the fly, with Clark calling plays and Boston moving into position before the words even left her mouth. Their mastery of spacing, timing, and angles was far beyond anything around them, and teammates began studying their interaction, hoping to mimic that seamless chemistry. Reese, by contrast, was completely out of sync. She couldn't find her spots in the paint, constantly a step behind the tempo Clark and Boston set. Transition after transition left her chasing the action, her post moves too slow for the pace of modern execution. In team drills, the contrast was stark. Clark called, Boston executed flawlessly, and Reese hesitated in the corner, unsure where to cut or when to engage. Coaches couldn't miss the difference. Clark and Boston operated with precision and modern speed. while Reese's outdated style and delayed reactions made her struggle to find relevance in the system.